Hey yo, what's up guys, and welcome to the first official episode of the Onion Podcast. We got the boys. We got Dale.
Hello.
We got Harbs.
Yeah.
And we got moi. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
I'm good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And the topic today is jobs. You know, we're going to talk about everything. You know, what we were expecting going into our first ever jobs, how we like our current jobs. And to start off,
Yeah.
how did you guys expect the job to be for your first one?
Like the job market.
The job market, indeed.
Yeah.
Who wants to start?
So
Harbs.
me.
Yeah, you start.
Okay.
Go.
We'll start from the very beginning. All right. When I was like making my resume, okay, it had to look perfect. I had to make it like, oh, you put school here, put rewards here from school. You know, in the kindergarten, I won this like 5th grade science award, that type of thing. You know, and it just had to be pristine. But honestly, all those minimum wage jobs I applied for only required you to have like your name and your phone number.
Basically.
Yeah. So I kind of like stressed myself over on that stupid ass resume.
Okay.
And going in, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, you know, this is gonna be cool. We're gonna meet new people.
New people.
No stress. Oh, first paycheck's gonna be so good.
So
Woo!
fat.
But then you realize that, you know, it's kind of crappy and you get paid minimum wage and you get disrespected a lot. So that was my expectations.
Yeah, not the best.
My expectations, I think, were very, very high.
Yeah.
You know,
Was
like
it?
every other teenager that goes into minimum wage jobs, you know.
Yeah.
I feel that way.
Yeah.
My first ever minimum wage job was Walmart. And going into it, I was like pretty excited because I was like, oh, I'm going to start getting paid. I'm going to put some bread on the table.
Bread on the
But it's
table.
basically the same thing Harvey said, you know, like it gets to you that minimum wage is actually pretty little.
Yeah.
And sometimes management could be not the best.
Yeah, compared to the work that you're obviously doing out there,
Yeah.
you're putting in like
You put your heart and
your
soul.
heart and soul, your blood, sweat, and tears in it,
Yeah.
and then they pay you like chump change.
Yeah.
Here's 50 cents for your trouble. Go take the bus or something. I don't know.
Buy yourself a bagel.
Yeah.
Buy yourself a
What was
bagel.
your first job, Harvey?
My first job was I don't want to say it. Like,
You want to say it out loud?
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's like it's a burger. a burger
Burger
company.
Okay.
You were a burger
I
flipper.
was a
Okay.
cook, so
Yeah.
it was like an open fire grill, right? And I flipped burgers, you know, like you know how SpongeBob. It's basically like think of SpongeBob, but like I cooked the burgers right in front of people, like it's cooked to
In
order.
front of people. Wow.
Yeah, like, it's like cooked to order right in front of people. So what I did was I put the burger on, you know, flip it and take other orders and stuff like that, and basically construct the burger with like cheese, mushrooms, and all that stuff in there. But it was hard work, obviously. I was slaving away in a hot stove, getting paid minimum wage, and my manager didn't give us the tips. not till like later, but like we've amassed probably over thousands of dollars of tips already, and he just wasn't giving it to anybody. It's
That's
stupid.
rude. That's
Yeah.
rude.
Yeah.
How about you, Dale?
For me, like growing up, I never really looked forward to getting a job. Like it's not something I thought about. Really?
Yeah.
Like I know where it's like, oh wait, I should probably get a job at this point. But for me, I've never had to stress over a resume or interviews.
Yeah.
Well, like when I was younger, I thought about like, oh, okay, interviews are something I might have to put up with. But so far, I have never stressed over resumes or interviews because most of my jobs were like just handed to me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, hey Dale, you want to work for this place? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll work for that.
Yeah.
That was basically it. And my first job was at I worked at a football stadium, basically, and I
Yeah.
worked for camera guys, like basically cable pulled for them.
Cable.
Yeah.
Which, if you think, the more I think about it, or the more I thought about it, it's really just like paid volunteer work.
Yeah.
Because I only
Grunt work.
I worked like twice a month for
Yeah.
like $50 a game, and then they only paid me at the end of the season. So it would
What?
take forever just to get
Yeah.
my check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked at the same place too.
Yeah, for a bit.
Yeah, for a bit.
I worked there like for 2 years, and I quit early in my second year. Oh no, for 2 seasons. No, not years.
No, you
Oh, years.
Not
That's
years,
a
but
lot.
seasons. 2
Getting-
seasons, and then I quit like on before the last day, on the season because I just didn't get along with any of the camera guys
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, they get around with paying you late and paying you less
Yeah,
because you were younger.
yeah,
You weren't 18 yet.
They call it a quote unquote commission.
yeah.
No, they called it volunteer work.
Volunteer.
Paid volunteer work.
Paid
That's
It
how they
basically
got around
was.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not the best. Not the
Yeah.
best. But it was nice bread. I used to piggyback off that.
yeah.
I used my first paycheck from that place to buy some Christmas presents. And
Yeah.
it felt really good to finally give to my family some presents for Christmas.
Cute. Your first paycheck? Did
Yes,
you say?
yes.
Yeah.
How about you guys? How did you spend your first paycheck?
Oh, my first paycheck, I blew it. Oh.
Oh,
Like you used it all in one go. Basically?
No, not all in one go. Like, I saved like 25% of it to 50% of it, and then like the rest, I just kind of like bought what I wanted at that current moment. It was a very in the moment like purchase. Like, I don't know. It was more leaning towards like food, clothes.
Yeah.
Like, even at that point in your life, you probably never had that much money at your disposal.
Exactly.
So you kind of like binge it on yourself, And then obviously the second paycheck, you gotta save a little bit more money wise, I feel.
It gets hard to say no. When you're just like chilling with your friends and you guys like are at a Tim's or something, it's like, I could buy this $2.50 coffee or I could not buy it. I'm just gonna buy it.
Yeah.
It's like $250 off of like, I don't know, a $200 paycheck. So.
Yeah, but then it adds up and you're just like,
yeah.
oh my god, I just lost $50 in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Not even $50 at this point.
Probably more. Oh my goodness.
You're out with your friends all the time. It
Yeah,
adds up.
it adds up.
Yeah.
It does.
How about you, Dale? How did you spend your first paycheck?
I don't remember. I just remember I bought clothes. I bought like my sweat. I was just getting into like sweatpants. So I remember buying just a fuck ton of sweatpants and joggers.
Gucci sweatpants.
Yeah.
One pair of
That's what I
Gucci
remember.
sweatpants.
Yeah, and then I think I don't know what else. I think the money just went dry eventually.
Wait, that's like half a leg of like Gucci sweatpants.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and like it was like 500 for like just like a season. So that was it.
Yeah.
That's all I spent it
It
on.
was pretty easy to blow it.
Yeah.
How
honestly.
long is the season? Sorry.
Maybe like 4 months.
4
I
months.
think so. It's like
Imagine getting paid every 4 months.
it's like two games per month. 4 months.
5 months. It's 5 months.
Yeah.
Because you get 2 games a month.
Yeah.
So and we got 500.
You get 500 at the end of the season.
So
You guys said you're pulling cables?
Yeah, and the thing is,
Yeah.
like, our teachers would hook us up with the jobs, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they would tell us, like, video shoots. You're helping out with video shoots. And then
The
in
realistic
reality, you're just holding a cable the whole time,
Yeah,
being yelled at by the camera guy.
just grunt work.
You're bottom of the food chain.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, like, the first season was really cool, because our camera guy was, like, kind of nice.
Yeah.
It was actually really really relaxed. And then the second guy, I almost, like, started arguing with the other guy. Like, I wanted to at some point.
Oh, gotta hold yourself back.
Hold them back.
See, I've always had problem with like, coworker arguments, especially coming into in a minimum wage job where no one is experienced or they have very little experience.
Yeah.
A lot of them just don't know how to present themselves professionally, or like in a work environment. So that's how like drama stirs up. Oh, he did this, I did that. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? When in reality, you're all a team. Just come together and just do the task.
We're all
It's especially annoying when they're older than you, and they always tend to have like
Yeah.
superior.
Yeah, they
superior
boss you
complex.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Even like the little guys, like the younger ones, sometimes they tend to fight back because
Mm.
they know they're in a lower position of power, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I've actually had a case where there was like this younger person. He was like a year younger than me. I was 18 at that time when I got my first job, and he just really argued with me a lot for some reason. When I tell him to, hey, can you like grab me this from the back? My hands are kind of full, and he just straight up says, oh, no, and then that kind of built up over time, leading to like a negative work environment. So
Yeah.
that's how drama really builds up.
Feels bad, man.
Imagine having drama at a burger place.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of drama in like food service and industry, because
Serving
shit-
beef with beef.
the shitty customers they
Yeah.
have to handle really get to you.
Yeah. Serving beef with beef.
Yeah.
Did you guys do like any like little side jobs here and there?
Yeah, obviously.
After your first job?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Let's go first. I mean, I did a few as well.
Yeah, I had a small under the table job. You know, it was at a hotel. I was. Yeah, did you not know about this?
No.
You didn't I tell you guys about this?
Oh, go on about. I probably heard.
Yeah, it was at like a hotel. I was a server at a hotel, and we were like serving graduations, weddings, and all that stuff. So, what were those called again? The people that serve during a banquet server. There you go. I was a banquet server for a hotel for a little bit. I was under the table, so every time they paid me, it was no tax. It was I got the full amount, you know.
You get it right after the shift?
Yeah, I get it right after the shift, like
That's
directly
pretty
right
good.
after the shift. It was a good job, not gonna lie, but it was still minimum wage, but better in the spectrum of minimum wage jobs.
Yeah, 100%.
But the thing was, being under the table, they can take advantage of you.
Yeah.
So I still remember my very first shift. It was like I served the graduation, right? It was like around 600 people, 700 people, and that's like the max
Was it like
capacity.
junior high graduation or high school?
High school graduation.
High school? Okay.
Yeah. So it was the venue was at max capacity, so it was one of the stressful times of the year, right? I was a new banquet server, no training whatsoever. They just told me to do stuff. They're like, oh, you know, serve this table over there and serve table over there.
That's
And like
crazy.
it was super hectic, and
Yeah.
I didn't know how to like properly pour glasses. I didn't know how to properly greet people, properly set food on the table. You know, there was this
Kinda threw it at them.
one. Yeah, there was
my
this one
God.
time where I was carrying like 10 trays, full plates of food in like this huge tray to a table and almost dropping it on someone. But luckily I didn't. But there was
Oh
one
my
guy that
God.
dropped like 20 plates of food during that
Did it
shift.
shatter or?
Oh yeah,
That's-
it shattered.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
He was like 6'5" and he was carrying 20 plates. He was trying to flex on everyone. But that's what you get for trying to flex.
No, I don't
on
need
them.
help.
No, I don't need help.
Man, what
It's
a
like that. It's like that
backfire.
meme where like the Christian guy carries like 12 chairs just
Yeah.
to show off, you know.
Mm.
But yeah, and at the end, I had my phone with me. At the end of the shift, I had 60,000 steps. 60 to 80,000 steps in that one shift. It was a 14-hour shift, only because they asked me to stay a little bit longer to set up for the next day's venue. So I was there till like 4 a.m.
Oh my
It's from-
God.
From 2 p.m. to 4 a.m. I was there for that shift, and they paid me the full amount for it.
That's nuts.
No tax, under the
my
table,
God.
and they called me in a couple times too. So I got some pretty good practice in.
What year was that?
Huh?
What year?
What year? It was like 2017, 2018. Yeah.
Mm.
So it wasn't too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're grade 12.
Yeah.
You're grade 12, right? Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Mm. A freelance job I did was a debut.
Debut.
It was actually pretty fun. So I told
Oh
my
yeah, you choreographed.
yeah.
You choreograph? Wow.
What'd you
Look
think
at
I
you.
do?
I'm like, wait a minute, which debut did you work? Oh yeah, you
I
choreographed.
didn't serve.
Revalia was a debutante.
Yeah.
I wish.
By the way, a debut is like when a girl turns 18.
Well, a
and then
Filipino
they have-
girl
it's
turns
A
18.
Filipino girl
Yeah.
turns 18.
Yeah.
And then they have this huge celebration with family and friends and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
for some context, you know.
Mm. So, how I got it was, I started choreographing and telling like all my friends about it and stuff. And I told this one friend, like, if you have any peeps having a debut,
Yeah.
hit me up. I'm a choreograph.
Mm.
and then luckily she did, and then so I linked up with the debutante and I got the job. I actually got paid a decent amount because I talked to my
Decent.
brother-in-law who was good with all this stuff. He choreographed for like years,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me like how much I should ask for, how much I shouldn't ask for, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a decent paycheck for a job a lot of people do for free, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty nice. I used that paycheck to pay for my trip to Montreal for my dancing.
Ooh.
So it's like dance to dance more.
Dance to dance more. There it is.
But yeah, it was really nice. Like the dancers, or like the non-dancers, but the participants were like super polite and stuff like that. And I got kind of close with them. And yeah, it was honestly a really fun freelance job. I wish I could do it more, but I don't dance anymore.
Too bad.
It's too bad. It's too bad.
I used my paycheck from that hotel job that I got for Christmas gifts too. So
There it is. I know.
always gotta give back.
Yeah.
How about you, Dale?
I still do a few side jobs here. Majority of my jobs are under the table, to be honest.
Truly.
But for it comes with like just myself, I did booze. I just shot B-roll for them. I made highlight reels, and that was basically it. And like the first few I did free in back in high school. Like I did two debuts for free, and then I did my cousins for free, and then I only did a couple more that were actually paid. And the thing is with that job, there's always like the thought in the back of my head like I'm gonna get scammed. So it's like I remember like for my first like actual client, like where I didn't actually know the person, I was like, all right, I'm only gonna send clips. Just clips of their actual video, so they don't scam me. And then as soon as they pay me, I can send them the full video. And then nowadays, I'm like, you know what? Fine, just take the video. It's like $50. That's fine. Because like I'd be so paranoid over $50.
Yeah.
And it's like,
hey man, $50 is
$50. You put some work like
but like I always end up like using that $50 for like something else at some point. So it's like. I'd rather get paid more. And then the thing is, like, some of those families are actually really, really nice. I remember, like, this one family I charged. I just said, $50 is fine. And then when they actually paid me, they gave me $80. I was like,
that's not bad. Not bad.
Leave a $30 tip.
The thing is, with that video, I kind of like half-assed it as well.
Oh no!
I was like, all right, I'm just gonna slap something together, and then they should
They don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, guys, hire Dale. He's good. I swear.
I mean,
he will try.
They're also like really widely spread apart. I haven't worked at the booth for like a while now, and I finally got called for one in September.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm still not sure if they're gonna hire me. She's like the mom says like, oh, it's like we'll check out your stuff. Yeah, we'll get back to you. And they still haven't get back to me yet.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while. It's been
Yeah.
a while.
Decision back.
Those are my only like side things that I do.
Mhm.
Yeah, everything else I get called in for.
It's really iffy with like the booze, like the debate whether like choreographers, videographers should get paid or not.
Yeah.
I think more often than not, videographers do get paid though.
Yeah.
But the choreographers, more often than not, from what I've seen at least, is they don't.
Did you get paid for all like,
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of them were my friends.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's just
Oh, there
really,
you go.
I just really didn't want to ask them
Yeah,
for
that's
money, you
true.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where it gets super like blurred.
Yeah.
Whether you should ask if you're close with them.
Yeah.
It's like,
Between
I don't know.
professionalism and being friends with them,
Yeah,
it's just,
it's
the
hard.
line gets blurred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I did actually have another minimum wage job. It was at a restaurant that served chicken.
Chicken.
You know, I will not name. You know, from burgers to chicken. I'm getting all kinds of meat here.
Yeah.
I just love my meat.
What
He
I
loves
guess.
the meat.
You worked yet?
Yeah. Pork.
I don't think we have
Veal?
any pork
No, we
restaurants.
don't really have any pork restaurants. But anyways,
Yeah.
Barbecue.
I worked at this chicken place, right? I was another cook at the time, and oh my god, I was worked to like the bone. The chicken bone.
They ate your fingers instead of the chicken.
Finger licking good, am I right? But anyways.
It's fine.
anyways, it was a super hard job since I was a cook. You know, you're at the back, covered in flour and in chicken bits for like 8 hours, scrubbing off grease off of walls, off of like those chicken cookers, filtering fryers. It was just hard labor, and it was hot back there too. Hard labor for like minimum wage, really. Like the amount of work that I did not reflect the amount that I was getting.
Yeah.
Sucked so much, and I don't think I'll ever come back.
Yeah, I remember chilling with you when you were working there.
Yeah.
You sounded so miserable every time you talked about your job.
I did. I was, dude. I did not like it.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
the best.
mostly because of the amount of work that I had to do, and also the work environment.
Yeah.
Not everyone was, as tight knit. You know, And the turnout rate at that place was super high, so people would quit left and right, and we'd have to hire new people left and right. That means more training, more money like down the line, like more costs down the line, and it slows down production because you're getting all these new people and like losing all these experienced people all the time.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. In my opinion, I might sound picky, but I'd never work in a fucking fast food restaurant.
No, it's fine.
I would never do that.
Be
like,
picky.
Here's some advice: be picky about your job. All right.
Yeah, because like I'd rather work like a conveyor belt in a factory than in a McDonald's.
Yeah,
that's honestly
exactly.
what I'd rather do.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. Be picky about your job only if you've experienced, you know.
Yeah.
You've experienced, you've got a feel for like a workplace, you know.
Yeah.
You
But-
be picky about that.
Yeah, and sometimes people just don't have a choice, though. You know,
Yeah,
they
that
just
is
need a
true.
job like right now,
Yeah.
and this place is hiring. It's like, yeah,
That's
go.
right.
Yeah, I feel like if you can pick, then just
Yeah, if you can't
If you
pick,
can't pick,
fast
go
food
pick.
is probably one of the worst.
Yeah.
Yes, please never go fast food. I know
Not the
everyone
best.
who's probably listening has had like
Yeah.
fast food experience,
Yeah.
or friends that have been in fast food or currently in.
My current job has a little bit of customer service, so whenever I go to a place that has some kind of customer service, or it's fast food or restaurant, I try to be polite.
Aren't you currently fast food? Does it count?
It's retail.
Oh.
apparently,
So what
something
is
like
your
that.
current job,
My
Rawali?
current job is I work at the Bell MTS Center
Ooh,
as a cashier.
fancy.
Fancy. So and it's pretty good. I like it. I think I'm on the higher spectrum for minimum wage jobs. It's super comfy. I think it's super nice being able to work shorter shifts than I used to. Because back at my first job, my shifts were 8 hours, and during peak times during Christmas, I had to work 9 hours.
Yeah.
And that really got to me. But then now I basically just work 4 hours a shift. And
That's not too bad.
yeah, it's actually really like comfortable. Like it doesn't even feel like I have a job sometimes. You know what I mean?
It's just chilling with like
Just
friends.
chilling. It's kind of just like freelance, to be honest.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really like my job, to be honest. How about you, Harvey? Your current job?
My current job is I am a dietary aide at a hospital right now. So what I basically do is I prepare meal trays for, you know, patients and stuff, and I deliver it to them, clean up a bit, and that's basically my job. But I'm in a specialized position, so I have more responsibilities than other dietary aid people.
Yeah.
And the work environment is honestly super positive. It's mostly, you know, older people instead of younger people. And you know how older people are in their jobs, you know, they're super chill. They just want to come in there and work, you know, socialize,
Yeah.
all that stuff. And honestly, having like only minimum wage experience and like a food handler's license has got me so far into that job that I'm not minimum wage, and it's a very comfortable job too. So I'm super lucky to actually even be there. So
Julia.
plus it's rewarding too, since sometimes I get comments from, you know, patients saying, oh, you know, this actually just happened very recently where like an old couple came up to me and was like, oh, thanks for doing your job. I'm like, you're welcome, sir. It just it touched my heart a bit, you know.
Yeah. I got some of those too. But it's like, you guys work hard, you know.
Yeah.
Take this tip or whatever.
Because serving food to those people, you kind of like bring them a bit of joy, a bit of comfort.
Truly,
you know?
truly.
A bit of comfort through food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Dale? How's your current working situation?
My current job, I am a camera person for a media production company. The thing is like, it's not very solid, and I barely get any shifts, but it pays a lot whenever I do work for him.
Ooh.
It's long shifts, and it pays a lot.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But
Did they pay you overtime?
Yeah.
The
Like the amount of hours I work, he pays me.
Yeah, you get a lot from the overtime.
Yeah.
Wow.
What was I gonna say? The thing is, it's like it's his side thing, but it's my main thing, you know. so it's like whenever he calls me for work, it's like, yeah, I'm down. I'm good. I'm good for that. But he doesn't call me for everything he does because sometimes he only needs like one other person.
Yeah.
But usually
You're not the main person.
Oh my god!
like,
You should
but
try to be.
I'm technically his go-to because sometimes it's just me and him.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's because I'm younger, I'm cheaper than the other guys he works with, and I have more free time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the only reasons why he hires me.
Yeah.
Those are fair reasons, though.
Yeah, honestly. Besides that, it's not a very hard job. Like the hardest thing about it is staying awake. Because I just gotta listen to people talk for 14 hours straight.
What do you do?
I cover like Métis events and stuff.
Where they have
Like,
speeches and
Political Métis events. They talk about
really?
like the residential schools, the current stuff.
Is it a live broadcast?
Yes, it's live broadcasted, but
It's live
sometimes it just records it.
Just record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it pays a lot and is way better than my previous one.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I just barely get any shifts, and I barely work. So
That is true.
I'm supposed to. He was gonna call me if he needed me because I would end up going to Saskatoon.
Ooh,
That would have been cool, but he hasn't called me yet, so I'm pretty sure he wouldn't.
Would he pay for your flight or you take a road trip with him?
Road trip with him, apparently. I guess.
Road trip.
Yeah,
with
you
the
would
camera.
have.
Yeah,
crew.
How much do
me.
you trust him though?
I mean, he's a nice guy, but the
Okay,
thing is,
okay.
like, he could be my dad. Like that's
He's
the
pretty
way.
old?
He's pretty old. Like he'd either be my dad's age or pretty older than my dad. So
Oh
we have
my
nothing
God.
to talk about.
Kind of
Yeah.
true. Kind of true. It'd be
Like,
like that.
that's what I noticed. Like, dude, this guy's like older than like tripled my age.
Yeah.
Maybe quadrupled my age, and I just don't know what to talk about.
Ask
With him.
him if he plays games.
That's gonna be playing Star, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's just
In contrast to that, though, I have a lot of like older coworkers, right?
Yeah.
We're all the same race, like, they're Filipino, so I talk to them in my native language, and I get along with them super well for some reason. Like we
Nice.
talk about, our like back home in the Philippines, we talk about our experiences back there. Sometimes I ask them, "Hey, how's the kids?" that type of thing, and they tell me that their kids are my age. I'm just like, you're old enough to be like my mom or
yeah,
my
exactly
dad.
right.
Are my
It's
friends?
kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I get along with them super well.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
The thing with like recording jobs, stuff that has like audio and video,
yeah,
it pays really well for like
Yeah, it does.
for like the things you think be grunt work. Like I did a
Yeah.
job where I was an extra for a TV show,
yeah.
and we did like a 12-hour shift, so I got paid overtime, and I got paid so much.
Yeah.
Overtime.
Yeah, I got paid
Damn.
for like maybe like 13 an hour, and
Yeah.
then overtime was like 18.
Jeez.
So you add all that stuff up, I had like maybe like a 200 paycheck off of one day, something like that. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Probably more than 200.
Comfortably,
Yeah.
guys.
But it's really not that steady.
Yeah.
If you want a
like,
stable job,
Like honestly, if you find someone new, he's probably not gonna hire me anymore.
yeah, it's not that steady.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm permanent in my part-time job, and I'm also protected by a union, so I think I'm pretty settled in there. I've been there for a long time, so
Yeah.
not as long as the other people that have been there for like 15 years, but I've had some.
Mm.
I've been around,
Yeah.
You guys have any interesting stories about your job, Harvey? I know you have a few.
Oh, yeah, I do. Working in a hospital, you see a lot of things, but
Indeed.
there's this one time where, I was like stripping trays. I was, taking them apart, throwing out the garbage and all that stuff, and I saw this like peculiar tray with like a garbage bag around it. I'm like,
Okay.
what's this? So I open it and I get like a chill on my spine. So I contact my like coordinator, and she was like, "Oh, you're not supposed to open that." And I'm like, "Why?" "Oh, because that came from like an isolation chamber."
Oh my
And I'm just
God.
like, "What?
An isolation
What do you
chamber.
mean?" Yeah, we called up the ward, and they said it came from an isolation chamber. We're only supposed to throw that out. I'm just like, nowhere in this bag did it say to throw it out. It was just like a blue garbage bag.
Wait, isolation chamber. What is that like?
Like, when patients are very sick, that type of thing.
Oh, so it's like bio, like not bio, but
something like
infected.
that. Basically,
Kill it.
you know, we were only supposed to throw that in the trash, but there were no labels on the bag, so that was kind of not my fault because since I was new back then. But it was super scary to think like
You almost got a disease.
yeah, I almost got a disease. I had to check my like immunization records right after to see if I was
scary.
actually immunized for that. Luckily, I didn't catch anything. Maybe a couple months down the line, I got like a cold. That's about it, really.
Oh yeah, you got pretty lucky, man.
I did dodged a bullet on that one.
A story I have is when I was working a game, and this woman, she seemed a little bit tipsy because she was like super like hyper and like super friendly.
Yeah.
And then she so we're just talking, she's ordering some food, and then she just looks at my name tag, and she goes like Roelio. Is that how you say it? And I'm like, yeah, that's how you say it. And it's like, is that Italian?
Yeah. Is that Italian?
And I'm like, no, it's Filipino.
Are you an Italian?
Does Roelio sound Italian
Maybe
to you guys?
Was it Cruz on there?
No, it's just Roelio. It's just a name tag.
Isn't Cruz just like a?
It's a Spanish.
Yeah,
it's Spanish.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? What are you?
Roelio? That sounds very like Spanish too.
Roelio? Kind of, I guess.
Roelio. That type of thing,
I know. Melvin was convinced that she was just friendly in general, but I was convinced that she was a little tipsy.
It's a little tipsy.
Just a little bit.
You guys do serve drinks there, so.
She was super friendly.
Yeah.
And I would have made a move, but she looked like she was in her 30s, so. She just got cute, but she was like in her 30s.
Roelio going for the Cougars, I see.
Okay, maybe late 20s. She looked pretty young.
Okay.
But definitely older. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she had her son. So.
Her son was with her.
So, okay. Oh my gosh.
Going for the Cougars.
What about off topic? You guys have any cute girls at your work?
Well, don't go too.
No.
Yeah.
I have a strict code to not really look at girls that way. I kind of want to keep it professional at that point. So.
Well, yeah, I really like my job, so I try not to
trying to stir up anything.
But there's some attractive women for sure.
Yeah.
I got one girl at my work, but she's like older than me.
Yeah.
But she's there at almost every event, and she talked to me one time. You know what she said to me?
So,
"Where's your name tag?"
where is your name? She just wanted to know your name. Wanted to strike a conversation.
Wait, what about that?
I was making a joke. But no, I was like, she's like, I said, I was like, oh, she's talking to me. It's like, where's your name tag? I'm like, oh, mine's at my chair. I'll go grab it.
There it is. You're in, bro.
That was it.
You're in.
That's one of the cracking joke.
Mm-hmm. Right it is.
I do have another story from just a fact about me when I was at that burger place. By the time I quit and like moved on to another job, right?
Yep.
All the hairs from my forearm to my fingertips were gone.
Wait, oh my god, why?
Because it was an open fire grill,
and
it seared off all of my hairs, and that's just kind of gross. Yeah. That's just like extra protein on your. I'm sorry, that's kind of gross. But like that's extra protein on your burger.
Oh no, bro. Yeah, got a hint of Harvey in there.
Got a hint of my DNA in there.
Juicy, indeed.
As for stories for me, I never really had stories from my other workplaces. Yeah. I've had like this moment where like, I was at my old job, like my summer job. I worked like a film equipment company, where it's like I was working the week, right? And I think it was like a Wednesday, and I was cleaning fabrics, right? And I had this moment like, wait, what did I do yesterday? Like it's like a moment of amnesia where like I just didn't remember what happened the previous day. It's like I blanked out for one whole day, and next I'm back in the spot. I was like, wait, what did I do yesterday? Like I legit forgot. Like what did I do when I got home? What did I do yesterday? I don't know why. I guess like my mind was just off for like a day straight, and by like tomorrow, by like the next day, I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
What just happened?
Well, I don't know, that was a really weird experience. Or it was like I felt like it was like a moment of amnesia.
Yeah. And when you get into that routine of like going to your job every day, you kind of forget like the little details
It's like, what the fuck
between what happened in your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to shout out. It's not really a story, but I want to shout out my boy Josh. It was my coworker back at Walmart. Back when I was assigned 5 a.m. shifts, he was already doing 5 a.m. shifts, so we got paired up together.
Was he our age?
He was like 3 years older, and basically all we talked about was drinking, parties,
alcohol.
Yeah, cause we were in the phase where we were drinking a lot back then.
Yeah.
And then he was like the club goer, and he always had friends over at his house and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we just talked about he taught me like some stuff because he was older. Yeah, he was just a cool guy. I wish we exchanged
Contacts.
like our contacts because
If you find an old schedule, his number's probably in there.
oh yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
but yeah. I miss you, Josh. Go back. And a funny like gag we had going on was he was like 3 years older, right? But we had this joke that I was like hella younger, like I was 12 and he was like in his 40s. And one time I was like, "Hey yo, Josh, how was the prohibition?"
What the fuck?
How was the prohibition?
How was it? Yeah.
Hi, Josh, if you're listening, Roel wants to hit you up. Also, how was the prohibition? I'd like to know too.
Julie. Alright.
So now that we talked about, the current jobs, the past jobs, what kind of jobs would you guys like to get in the future? Maybe, a couple of months from now, that type of
Maybe
thing.
farther, maybe like 5 years.
5 years, maybe,
You
yeah.
never know. Right. Dale?
For me, I think I just want to work somewhere where I can work alone, I guess.
Yeah.
With people. I think I've decided I kind of want to break away from the film stuff. Like, I don't really want to be, on sets anymore.
Yeah.
Because, it's just, you gotta always start off small with that. I'd rather just get to the point right away.
Yeah.
And just start somewhere, where I can just work by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's really what I want.
Not a bad idea.
Aren't you going to school for that?
Yeah, I will soon. In September, I think.
Nice.
I plan to become a psych nurse, actually.
Yeah.
I really like talking to people, I'm all about that extrovertiveness, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
And just listening to people's problems and just, shouldering some of that burden. You kind of give back to the community and that type of thing,
Sure.
So I'm actually in school for that right now, and I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'll get
You'll
there.
get there.
I'll get there.
Indeed.
Someday I'll get there, and we'll see where it takes me. Also, there is the possibility of, going into other professions that I'm thinking about, but I'm not going to get into too much detail about
Gotta keep
that.
our options open.
Gotta
fellas.
keep the options open.
I think that's a perfect segue for me because basically right after high school I wanted to pursue gaming, more specifically League of Legends.
Esports athlete.
But then some stuff happened and I'm kind of on hiatus and I'm trying to figure out what my next move is. I'm probably going to go back to school in September.
Ooh.
I'm already enrolled for psychiatry.
Oh, okay.
So I just gotta sign up for the classes, basically.
Yeah.
And get my loan and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to keep my options open. I've always been interested in languages. So I've thought about learning Japanese and going to Japan to teach English.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my auntie actually does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you told me.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And then, because Japan looks so cool. I want to see how it is over there and see how it is to live outside of Winnipeg. I think that'd be really good.
Yeah.
Any other languages you're interested in? German.
Well, I want to relearn Tagalog.
Relearn.
I think I definitely want to relearn Tagalog before.
Before you pursue anything else.
Yeah. Because I think I could definitely learn Tagalog without taking a huge class on it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's pretty easy since you're surrounded by Filipino culture.
and I've always enjoyed teaching. So
Yeah.
back in my choreography days, and I used to tutor a little bit of math because math is the subject that just gets to people, apparently.
The dancing math teacher. There you go.
That's
the title.
That's the title.
Only he can stop turnovers.
Yeah. You guys,
What kind of advice do you guys have for people going to their first jobs? We kind of tackled it with like the not being too picky, but you guys want to reiterate on that?
Going into first jobs, honestly, your resume doesn't have to be that, that big.
Yeah.
That flashy, honestly.
Mm.
Yeah, and for minimum wage jobs, you don't really need any work experience. So, and don't expect too much from it. There you go.
Yeah.
I think my expectations were a bit too high when I came in, and I just got in, all disappointed and stuff. So lower your expectations a bit. Be realistic about it.
Yeah.
Talk to people.
Get that bread.
Get that bread.
yeah.
Don't waste the bread.
Don't waste the bread. Yeah, maybe in the first paycheck, but we'll save it.
Yeah.
Just kind of like celebration, but second and onward, be a little bit smarter.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really offer any because all my jobs were just handed to me.
Yeah.
I never been like I said, I've never been to interviews. I never had to hand in a resume before.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't really offer anything.
Oh, you never done an interview?
No, never done an interview so far.
Oh, by the way, for interviews, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't act like anyone.
Exactly.
Because most likely in those minimum wage jobs, they don't really care.
Yeah.
Because once they interview you, if everything like checks out, like you didn't commit a crime or anything like that, you're most likely gonna get hired. So don't stress over it. You can look up in Google common questions, practice. But other than that,
Do a little bit.
Don't lose sleep over it.
Yeah, don't lose sleep. Definitely.
Especially for a minimum wage job. Maybe like in the higher end jobs, maybe you need to practice a bit. But other than that,
Especially if it's your first interview, like just take it with a grain of salt if you don't get your first interview, because I know for me, my first couple of interviews didn't go all too well because I stressed out a little too much.
Oh, on a side note, I did apply for a job and got an interview and didn't get in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was when I was like 16. It was like for some lotion company.
Lotion company?
Or no, it was like the body shop or whatever it's called.
The face shop.
No, not the face shop, the body shop.
The body shop?
Yeah, the body shop.
That's not lotion, that's proteins and stuff.
No, it's like
The
products.
Body Shop?
Yeah, look it up. It's like they sell lotions and like pomades and all that stuff. I had an interview and I overstressed about it to the point where like, I over answered some questions, overshared a few things, and that's how over preparedness gets you. I didn't get the job
in an interview.
Like I don't know, some of the questions are like dumb and answered in dumb ways. So
because I want the job.
Because I want the job. No, not like that, but I over prepared and like it's just caught off guard. That's all.
Okay. Try to find the balance between having good standards and settling, because I think my standards were not high enough for my Walmart job because the commute was just terrible.
Oh yeah.
And I thought I could handle the hours, and I kind of did, but at the same time, working 5 a.m. to 1, when I'd hang with my friends at 7, I'd get knocked out at 10.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of commute, at that burger place, I had to bus like 2.5 hours just to get there for a 3-hour shift and bus home 2.5 hours back. Yeah. That's 5 hours of travel time and 3 hours of working. That is not worth it. That is an 8-hour day wasted mostly because of getting there.
Yeah, I used to have that too. I had to wake up early in order to get a ride to my workplace, like my summer job. But I even then I'd show up early and I'd nap there sometimes. There's one time like when the back door was open and I snuck in. Yeah. And I slept on the couch. And then like the lounge room, and then when work started, I went out to the back door and into the front. Like, hey, I just got here. Hey.
Ready for work.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How long has it been?
43 minutes.
Quite a while.
I don't know. Speaking of which, can I talk about my summer job for a bit?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So technically, my summer job was my first real like full-time job. Yeah. Where I worked like 5 days a week. Yeah. And I was like waking up like 6:30 in order to like to get a ride to work. And I think like majority of my burnt out came from that place. Because like even in high school, because I got that work experience, and they baited me. My teachers baited me with that too, saying, "Oh, you'll be on multiple film sets when you work there. Multiple film sets. You'd be working with cameras, and then like the whole time there, I just like cleaned equipment and cleaned fabric." Because even then, for some reason, like they knew I was underexperienced to work there.
Yeah.
But they still hired me for the summer, and by the end, I'm pretty sure they hated me. Because my hand needed to be held there because I just didn't know what anything was, technical wise, like what were the like certain lights called. Plus, like I'm like a small Asian dude carrying like these like 50-pound lights. It was terrible. It was so bad.
50 pounds.
50 pound lights.
Yeah, and then like
must be swole by now then.
No, I wasn't. I say the exact same weight the whole time.
Swole.
Speaking of which, I wouldn't call it bullying. They didn't bully me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they would tease me a lot because one time I couldn't get this what's it called, like the thing you use for pallets.
Oh yeah.
Pallet jack.
Yeah, pallet jack.
Yeah, I couldn't get into the pallet, and instead of helping me out, he was like filming me, laughing at me. I'm like, dude, fuck, just help me out here.
Wait, that's so rude.
That's workplace harassment.
Yeah,
right there.
I saw
What
him
the
from
hell?
apart. He was like filming me, laughing at me. I'm like, dude, help me out here. I can't get this in.
That's a messed up.
Yeah.
Messed up,
Like the thing
dude.
is,
What
like,
the hell?
and there's also this thing too where it's like, I thought everyone there liked each other, and as soon as I heard them shit talking each other, like, oh my god, I thought we were a family.
Yeah.
You guys are so mean.
That's the thing that happened for my first 2 jobs too.
Yeah. And
I thought everyone was a family, but
my manager, my supervisor, this thing where he would always. She would always shit talk on this one coworker, right? It was one coworker of mine.
Yeah.
But then every time he talked to him, he said, "My favorite."
my
She
favorite.
she would pull that fake shit with him, right?
Yeah.
So then sometimes she would talk to me, and she'd be like, "Hey Dale, my favorite." I'm like, "What the fuck is
Oh
that?"
no! Oh no!
What the fuck is that? So,
That's messed up.
Yeah,
dude.
I know. So I'm pretty sure by the end of that job, they fucking hated me.
Yeah.
Because on the busy days, they just couldn't hold my hand, and I had nothing to do there. So I ended up just sitting around waiting for someone to tell me what to do. But then when everyone was so busy, just doing everything on their own time,
Damn.
I was just unexperienced. Like I was too is it inexperienced or unexperienced?
Inexperienced.
Inexperienced. Sorry, I was too inexperienced to work there, basically, and they still hired me for some reason. Yeah.
Speaking of burnout, actually, I did burn out on that burger job and the chicken job. First 2 jobs that I've ever had, I did burn out like pretty quickly, since when I got hired at that burger place, I remember working for like 14 days in a row, just having to bus there and bus back in the cold or like the sweltering heat was just too much for me, and it was always stressful there, you know, a lot of customers, cleaning and all that stuff. And the same thing for that chicken place too. Oh, it was terrible. Burnout left and right. Sometimes I had to like call in sick because, you know, I just didn't want to go to work.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you were being taken advantage of, because minimum wage is actually a commodity for in the corporation's eyes, you know. Hiring workers for super cheap, hiring inexperienced, unknowing workers for super cheap is, you know, just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's good for them.
It's good for them, not for us, really. But yeah, I started to burn out for those 2 jobs. But currently, right now, I'm in a good position. You know, still work.
Yeah.
I have a balance now, let's say.
That is.
Yeah.
That is. In terms of burnout, I was actually doing pretty well at Walmart for maybe like 3 or 4 months, because I was just super excited to be getting paid.
Yeah.
And I got a little bored after graduation, and I was still figuring out what to do, so I didn't really have anything to do.
Yeah.
And so once I got hired, I was like, oh, let's go, we're gonna get bread. Oh. And then maybe like during the 5th month, I was like, oh my god, I don't want to work 40-hour weeks anymore.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I like a schedule where it's like 3 days on, 2 days off, or even the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Sounds
nice.
decent.
That's my schedule right now, actually.
Yeah.
3 days on. It's like 3 days on for me, 2 days off, 4 days on, 3 days off.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
It's pretty good.
Honestly, like, when they hired me
Yeah.
at my summer job, they told me, oh, you can do part-time. But then my first day there, I asked, no, you're full-time. No, it's it's like they're coming tomorrow because I'm not sure if I'm 3 days or 2 days. Like, no, you're full time.
Promotion on the first day, huh?
Yeah.
it is. It'd be like
No,
that.
I just
climbing
keep
the
getting baited like, at every job.
Oh my god.
Baited and outsmarted.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is like the higher spectrum of minimum wage jobs? Like jobs are they're just kind of better.
Office jobs, maybe like a comfortable like office job.
I don't like minimum wage.
Minimum wage.
I mean, like
No,
you
no.
guys.
Movie theaters, maybe?
No,
No, not really.
no. Like we know one person that's working in the movie theater.
I don't know.
I feel like you guys are fine with your jobs. I mean,
Yeah,
like, I
but
feel
Barbie's
like
not minimum wage.
I'm not minimum wage.
Oh, you're not
no.
minimum wage.
And mine kind of not because you can't work more than like 24 hours a week, so it's kind of different.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the higher spectrum would be like, I don't know.
I don't think it is a higher. Is there even
Then
a higher
maybe there
spectrum?
isn't. to
Like
be
Michael's,
honest.
maybe.
Maybe.
Michael's sounds pretty nice, right? Or-
Seems really slow though.
it is, but you don't have to
deal
do
with
that much.
a lot
I
of
don't know if any
customers.
Michael's employees is listening
Maybe
right
like
now.
a busboy for a fancy restaurant. I don't know.
Oh yeah, or maybe like a server, like a fancy restaurant. Maybe it
I
gets a
think
bit
servers
hectic.
get a lot of shit.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Okay, but there isn't. There isn't.
Maybe I don't know, at a gardening
I don't
place.
think there is. Maybe technically there is one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only your dream job and that's it.
Yeah. If anyone knows, let us know.
Let us know in the comments below.
In the comments below. Oh my god.
Indeed.
Michael's does sound pretty good though. I did apply there, but they didn't really.
Yeah, I
reply
applied there
back.
too.
Yeah.
I don't think I tried that right.
Maybe a job that you somewhat like say you like vaping, alright?
Yeah.
And you work in a vape shop.
True. Yeah.
You know.
That sounds
Yeah,
pretty
like,
chill.
like if you like comics or music.
Yeah,
and
if you
work
like
in a music
superheroes,
store.
work in a
music
comic
store.
shop.
Yeah, stuff like that. Stuff
Like a
that.
CD store, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
there you go,
about
there you go.
about that before. It's like oh, I like cameras, so I should maybe apply for a camera shop.
Yeah.
I've thought about that before.
Like a tech store.
Yeah, because I know a few camera
Actually,
stores.
sounds
That's
decent.
actually an idea.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe that would be like a good for you minimum wage job.
I did
Yeah.
want to apply to like Long and McQuaid as like like it's like an instrument shop. They sell like saxophones, trombones, guitars, basses, and all that stuff, and all the equipment in between. It looked pretty chill in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, since
Maybe
Really?
like a really good food store, like Hawaii Crepe. Doesn't seem like they get a lot of bad customers. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I
So
guess.
maybe something like,
Like
like boba tea.
a boba tea store like
Boba
Panda Tea
store,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe,
Mm.
maybe.
Uh,
'Cause everyone that
it does
goes
get
there-
busy there. Yeah.
It does get busy, but like, I feel like it's more the younger people, and I think, from my experience,
Yeah.
the younger people like early 20s and even late 20s are definitely more polite
That
than the
is
older
true.
people. Yeah.
I guess.
Higher spectrum. Lower spectrum would be your run-of-the-mill fast food restaurants,
Exactly.
like McDonald's.
Roads.
Oh, on a side note, that burger place I'm talking about is not McDonald's. It's not Burger King or
McDonald's
anything.
isn't chicken.
And
Oh,
McDonald's
burger.
isn't chicken, yeah. The burger place. It's not McDonald's. It's not Burger King. None of the fancy fast food or none of the
Fancy.
none of the well-known fast
The
food chains out
well-known.
there.
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Alright, yeah. Does anyone else have anything to input?
Wrap it up.
I think that's about it. Alright.
2 minutes.
Well,
I'll do that, true.
that's your cue.
It's my cue.
Let's
Alright.
sign us off then.
All right, thank you guys for listening to the first official
The official.
Yeah.
first official episode. I hope you guys liked our little combo about jobs.
Little side project.
Hope you learned a thing or two. Hope you had a laugh or a lot of laughs. I'm Italian, by the way.
Uh-huh.